Hey y'all, I'm JamesWright and welcome to Wizards News. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to dive into this latest teaser video and go through it and see is there anything we can actually learn about this. There isn't a whole lot new, but there are some really interesting things that we have found that I thought I'd bring to light. So let's actually take a look at this. So, the question is, do you like kittens? A lot of people really like kittens, and this has been one of those things that's like, ooh, kittens, and I'm like, kittens. Okay. Now, first thing off the bat, they kind of look like Crookshanks. If you've seen from the movie, they have that smooshed face, and I'm pretty sure that's why they were chosen, but it's one of those interesting things that's kind of a tie-in to the Harry Potter story. Now, the very first thing in the video is we hear her saying, Yao Shu. Yao Shu. And we see the subtitle down below. It says, hey, what do you have there? What is this? And that was what we originally thought. But I've heard several different resources from several other people saying, no, actually it sounds like she's saying witchcraft. What is this witchcraft? And that kind of sounds like something that might fit into the game. Of the sources I've heard saying that translation is witchcraft, the most prominent one is from the Squibbler, which I'll leave a link to his video down below. And he actually has a friend who speaks Chinese, and it sounds like a very solid resource. But again, I don't speak Chinese, so I don't know. There really isn't that much in it that we can pull out of other than, hey. Again, we see some of the same signatures we've seen before with Matilda and Constance, so that is keeping with what we've seen on other teaser videos. All of these sheets have information about what is the trace number, and this is the highest trace number we've seen so far, 146, and that is the biggest one we've seen. Originally they were saying they'll have at least 100, and now we're thinking, it looks like they may have more than that off the bat. So this is kind of an interesting fact. Also, you'll notice when they're flying around, there are two snitches that are flying around in the image. There's not just one, and so if it looks like it's moving around a lot, then that's probably because there's two of them. At the end of the video, the clock is showing the same threat level as we saw with the riderless Nimbus 3000. And also it uses the same spell for that one as well. So that might be an indication that the spell is connected to the threat level, or it might be something completely different. Of all the other videos, they were set in UK and Australia. This one appears to be set in China, though we're not really sure. It could be just about any Chinese-speaking country. But that is very interesting because we haven't seen a lot of other languages and other things. And it looks very interesting how they're kind of bringing that into the ethos of the game, is that it's becoming more and more worldwide. Now that being said, Pokemon Go only has a few places in China it can actually be played because they have these geo-locking laws. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to be, why would they be putting China in there? Are they leading up to this will be open in China? Are they working something out with China? We really don't know. It's kind of an interesting idea. In the end, the description calls it a Yanxi. Totally butchering that name, I'm sorry, but this is actually a game that's played in China. I actually saw it when I was there. It has feathers usually put through a washer or a coin, and this would be something you kind of play with a hacky sack. And you can see how there's some relationship to that and a snitch, so it's kind of an interesting connection there. Also, the YouTube channel Snitches and Witches put out a video, and she talked about the snitch bouncing off of the basketball, and I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to make it fit into the video, a good bit of editing there. But then she brought up the fact that the basketball draft is happening on June 20th, which is like, I wonder if that has anything to do with it. And yeah, I see that's a very long stretch, but I think it's kind of an interesting idea, just to throw that in as some weird thing. Niantic is very well known for hiding weird details in places that you don't see until afterwards. Does it have anything to do with it? I kind of doubt it. It is a long shot, but it is an interesting fact that there's big news coming up in basketball, June 20th. Who knows? We'll see. So all this being said, there isn't a whole lot new in this new teaser video that we got that just like, wow, this is kind of cool, especially with the beta that has come out in New Zealand and Australia. There's a lot more information coming out of those. I would really love to see an actual trailer and not just a 30-second teaser video. They put one of those out for Pokemon Go, and that had a lot more information in it and a lot of ways of thinking through it and possible ideas about the background of the story. We know a little bit about the story, but that is really one of the big key things about this, that they're taunting that this is going to be the big story that will last for a decade or more, and I'm really getting excited about that, but we haven't heard much about the storyline. Maybe we'll have to wait until the game actually releases, but we don't know when it will release, so lots more speculation and thoughts that have come out because of this. Now, if you'd like to see more data and some of the other things, I'll leave a link to some of the sources and places that I commonly go down below, and other videos that I've seen on this. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you thinking that there's some speculation? Is there anything that I missed? I'd love to hear that down below. Please let me know. And I think that's about it for now. Until next time, have a magical day.